Hey everybody, welcome back to Drawing with Paolo. This week I'll teach you how to draw perspective. In the 1500s, Paolo Cello pioneered the look of perspective, something that made the drawing look like it was going deep within the page. To make your drawing look like it's going deep into the page, you need to use a horizon line and a vanishing point. The horizon line is a line that goes across the page, which splits sky from earth. And to do that, we'll need to use our trusty ruler right here. And you'll need to use this throughout the whole session today. So the first thing you want to do is actually draw a horizon line. It's just a horizontal line going across, just like this. And this allows us to cut the sky from the ground. So this is the ground, this is the sky up here. And then what you want to do is to make it look like there's depth in there, is you want to add a point right in the middle of that line. It's what you call the vanishing point. That's where everything goes into the middle. Everything just vanishes into the center of that piece of paper. And so if you want to draw something like a train track, for example, then what you want to do is draw lines from that middle point all the way out to the edge of the page. So I'm going to draw the outside line here first, just like that. And then I'm going to re-angle my ruler and draw the other line, so the left line here. And it looks like a triangle, or the tip of a triangle. You know, my theme is shapes all the time here, so this triangle is going deep into the page. Then what I'm going to do is draw the thickness of my rail, of that track, right? Just going down like that. So that is the same line, just tapering off to the vanishing point. The vanishing point is where all your lines are going to go to. And I'm going to make the thickness of the track here, just like that. And pull another line here onto the other side, on the right side. Make the other thickness of the track. So the next detail we want to draw is the tracks. And they'll look like they're going up the page, but to make them look as they're going deeper, we want to make them thinner and thinner as we go back. So I'm going to make them, a certain size, and as they come towards me, they'll be thicker. And as they go to the back of the page, they'll look thinner. So we're going to start with the first one. I draw two lines here to make the thickness of our train track, or the actual, the wooden slat that goes across there. And I'll make a second one here. You don't have to measure anything really, you don't have to worry about it. As long as they get smaller as they go down to the bottom or up the page. I'll make another one here. Just a little bit thinner than the two first ones, and I'll keep going like that, make them thinner and thinner as I'm going up the page. And that will give the illusion of going into the page, of going deeper into the page. And just keep working your way up like that. There we go. Need a little bit of patience when you're drawing perspective. And then the lines just vanish into the back there. So the next step is really simple. Is what I want to do is add the thickness to my track here as well, to the wood slats. I'm going to add a little thickness there. And that thickness will also get smaller and smaller as we move up the page. Looks like it's going deeper into the page. And today there won't be that much detail. We're just going to, have fun, draw something really simple. Now the next step is drawing the finished lines to this track here. So you want the thickness to reach the top of that slat there, and you can draw every little line there. And to keep portraying the idea of perspective, I want to draw a fence right over here. So what I'm going to do is draw, once again, vanishing lines from the post I'm going to draw. So I'm going to draw a vertical line here, and then the top of that vertical line, just like this, and it's parallel to the horizon line. I'm going to draw another parallel line to this line here. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, essentially. Then I want to draw a thickness to this post right here, and that goes all the way to the vanishing point. So I'm going to pull more lines from this point here all the way to the vanishing point, just like that. I'm going to do another one at the top. This is for the thickness of the post, or the side of the fence. And we can also see the top of the post here, so I'm going to do the thickness of this at the top too. Then I'm going to choose how thick I want to make my post. So I'm going to pull another line here, which will dictate how thick that line is. And draw a line at the top again, parallel to the top line of the post. I'm going to create another one, exactly the same, right about here. And then I need to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit thinner than the first one. So I'm going to pull another line here. Now if I make it too thick, it'll look the same as the first one. So I need to make it a little bit thinner. So what I'm going to do is erase that a little bit. And you can do that anytime. If you think you've made things too thick or too thin, just erase away. Remember to keep your lines really thin, really light rather, so that you can erase all these things. So I'm going to draw another rectangle and make its thickness over here a little bit thinner than the first one we made. Put the top. Then we'll make a third one as well after I erase all these lines. So here comes the third one. Pull that line across, another line here. Side thickness all the way to the top. There you have it. So now I can draw in those lines a little bit darker if I want with my pencil. Side line, and then erase all of those perspective lines that we don't need. The next thing is I'm going to draw a road here on the side of this train track. That's not rare that we see streets next to train tracks. So I'll pull a line here, once again from the vanishing point all the way to the edge of my paper. You can make your road as wide as you like. And once that line is drawn in there, what I want to do is add a little bit of detail. So I'm going to draw little rocks, little stones here on the side of the road that'll go all the way to the back of my vanishing line and make it as smaller and smaller, make those stones smaller and smaller as they go. There you go, little dots there. Then I'm going to erase the line inside those stones. I'm going to repeat here, fast forward onto the other side. There you go. Now the next step, of course, is there's a dividing line in the middle of this road, so I'm going to draw the dividing line. Once again, it has a thickness, so I'll draw two lines perpendicular to each other, or not parallel rather, parallel to each other, and draw the splitting lines in between. So these lines are, they'll get longer and longer as they get closer to us, and smaller and smaller as they move away. There you have it. Erase these lines too, and then finish off the lines with a little few pencil strokes. Now I want to draw a mountain line back there, essentially just drawing triangle tips. Make it look like there's a mountain range back here. Clean up my drawing a little bit. And then I want to also make trees over here, a forest line. And just drawing like a cloud if you like, but a little bit tighter. I want to speed this up a little bit too, so that we save a little bit of time. Remember, you can pause this at any time. Erase the lines in here. So there's my tree line. And then what I want to do is add the shading to this mountain side here. So I'm going to pull some lines across. You have to imagine that the light is coming from the top right corner over here. So I'm going to pull those lines all the way down, but leave a little bit of bright spot on the top right of these mountains. So what you need to do is pull lines across, or you can shade that in fully. I like hatching. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's a lot of fun. Gives it a little bit of a sketchy look. Darken this line here because I like it now. I commit to it. And darken behind these trees here. And then because the light's coming this way, I also want to color in my posts, my little fence posts. And as they come towards you, they should get darker because the objects that are closer to us have more contrast. Color this in, speed it up for you again. And because the light's coming this way, there's a little bit of shadowing on this side too, a little shading rather, on this side of the post. Okay, so the next step, of course, is once your post is colored in, you want to color in your road. And it's just a dark color if you like. You can color it in, or shade it in, or cross hatch it. It's your drawing, you do the way you like it. I'm going to fill in these little gaps between my line here. And that's that. I mean, that's how simple it is really to draw perspective. You have one point in the middle, all the lines will converge to it, and that's how you make perspective, just like Paolo Morrone did back in the 1500s. See you next time.